Hi, this is Regina Y. Favors with the film analysis for Misery, the film. This is the theme of setback and misery when you abandon your mastery orientation with a special topic on goal orientation. So I want to look at setback within the film itself. We understand that the main theme of the film is misery, right? And it is used throughout the film. It is the title of a 8-part series written by Paul Sheldon, the character. And we know that Annie Wilkes, the female character, is just enamored with not only Paul Sheldon but also the Misery series. And so we understand that misery is your main theme if we were looking at this just from the theme of misery. But I want to look at it from the theme of setback because I want to consider Paul's initial goal, which is to end his career writing the series itself. And he wants to get into more serious work, and how that goal is thwarted by Annie Wilkes's character. But I also want to look at how Paul really contributes to his own setback when he gives Annie permission to read his untitled book and be a part of the process, if you will. So this is the theme of setback and misery. I do not utilize film clips due to trademark and copyright infringement issues, and also YouTube tends to take down those types of videos that do not have permission. So I only want to look at a frame by frame analysis, screenshotting each frame, and then take it from there. So this is theme of setback and misery when you abandon your mastery orientation with special topic on goal orientation. And so goal orientation is a psychology concept, and I want to look at how both Paul and Annie are abandoning their own mastery orientation. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you are interested in further videos, hit the notification bell. Thank you for visiting the channel. So this film analysis is subject to fair use. And here's your plot summary. So Misery explores the parallel narratives of both characters, Annie Wilkes and Paul Sheldon. Wilkes is an obsessive fan who holds Sheldon captive, forcing him to rewrite a novel part of a series. On the other hand, Sheldon, who desires to get out of the novel writing business, is beginning his new journey in writing serious stories, hoping the new genre will launch his career post-Misery. Their worlds collide when Sheldon's car goes off the road during a blizzard. Wilkes rescues him and takes him to her home, and she subsequently traps him into the room because she realizes that he is ending her misery as well as his own. Forced to burn the new manuscript and reignite the old series, Sheldon complies, extends the series, learns about Annie, and tries different strategies of escape, which makes Annie suspicious. After she discovers Sheldon's attempts, Annie is forced to adopt an extreme option to keep Sheldon from living. The experiences of both characters reveal much about their inclinations to adopt a different goal orientation to complete their tasks. By the end of Misery, it is Sheldon who achieves his goal, leaving a legacy for reinvention and overcoming personal and professional setback. So here are your learning objectives. By the end of this discussion, you will be able to do the following. So summarize the plot, outline the implications of misery, which is just standard, right? How many times misery is used, by which character, what's the concept or the context of that use of the term and concept misery. Create character descriptions of the main character and one or more supporting characters. Define learning goal orientation and performance goal orientation. Apply one or more goal orientation examples to one or more characters. And then apply the theme of setback to one or more frame analyses. So I want to make a point of saying that this is a film analysis, not a film critique. So I'm not adding any bias towards or applying any bias to the film. I only want to analyze character, concept, the ways in which the characters engage each other, etc. I also want to look at the characters from the point of setback. So by the end of this discussion, you will be able to apply the 7 stages of setback, which is explored in my book, Overcoming Setback, 5 Keys for Entering and Exiting Correction, which will be available August 2021. So I want to look at missed opportunities. So the 7 stages are missed opportunity, punishment, pain, correction, recovery, restoration, and advanced. So in terms of missed opportunity, if we look at a course analogy, and we all have either struggled within a course and still passed, or we have failed a course, right, and had to retake it and then passed. But the missed opportunity, if we look at the math course, right, it is common knowledge nationally, globally, wherever, that you have to show all of your work in a math problem. You just cannot put the answer on the test page, right? And so when you don't do that, you are marked down and you could actually fail the test. And you do that, and if you do that multiple times on different tests, you could fail the course. So that's your missed opportunity, that you did not adhere to a particular instruction that is basically common knowledge, that you show all of your work. So then the punishment would be you failed that course. The pain would be that you have to now retake that course along with other courses that might make learning something that you should have learned in a previous course all too inconvenient. So you feel the pain of that. The correction would be that whatever you failed to learn or decided not to regard, you now have to do it in this course. So the correction would be you show all of your work on all tests, all homework at the end of the course, right? Recovery is recovering from that bad thinking, meaning that you thought that you only had to put the answer on the page, and that no matter what the teacher said, you were going to do whatever you wanted to do. Well, the recovery from that bad thinking would be that you have to come up under the direction of your teacher or the direction of authority and do what they are requiring you to do. Because if you are having trouble in a basic math course where you have to show all of your work, what's going to happen when you are having trouble in a workforce environment where the supervisor is telling you that there are X amount of things that you have to do to complete your task, and if you decide to do whatever you want to do, the consequences could be you losing your job. So you have to recover from that bad thinking that I can do whatever I want to do, regardless of being in a math class and having a teacher. Restoration usually requires a mentor. So sometimes the teacher might sit you down and sort of help you understand why it is important for you to show all of your work, so she can check if you have a very good understanding from each level that you are working out the problem. And then advances, once you have fulfilled all of the previous steps, you can advance. Advances is a forward and continuous movement, so that you take what you have learned from overcoming your setback to the next course or to the next thing. You don't say, oh, well, all of that information that I learned and all that wisdom that I learned was just for that course. No. If you get another course that may not be a math course, but the teacher is telling you to integrate sources into your paper, show me that you know how to do that, you can't say, well, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. A summary is just fine. That's not going to work for an academic paper. So the academic course analogy is usually a very good one, because everyone has to go to school. whether you are at the secondary level or post-secondary level, everyone has taken a class or has struggled with a class, struggled with a professor, teacher, etc. And so overcoming setback requires these 7 stages of setback. So I feel for the narrative structure that there are 2 main plots, because I'm looking at the idea of parallel narratives. Any other instructor might decide that there is just one main plot and focus on Paul Sheldon, and then look at how he engages Annie Wilkes or Wilkes engages him. But I feel like there are 2 main plots. So Paul Sheldon's decision to exit the misery business, so he no longer wants to write these novels, even though it has been extremely profitable for him. And Annie Wilkes's her decision to set back Paul Sheldon professionally and personally. So when she traps him in a room and burns his book, it is setting him back professionally. When she doesn't alert anyone to the fact that he is still alive, and she doesn't alert the hospital, she doesn't alert the sheriff, the agent, his daughter, that is setting him back personally. Okay, so these are, I feel, your 2 main plots. There's a possible 3rd plot, misery as a concept. So misery as a concept is the main theme of the film, and it is explored through the experiences, perceptions, and assumptions from both Annie Wilkes and Paul Sheldon. Annie Wilkes is miserable, so she uses the novel series to encourage personal and private happiness. Paul Sheldon is miserable, so he uses the idea of writing a new book to encourage professional happiness. However, it is a 3rd plot for this film analysis. So again, we're not focusing on misery as your main concept, because in many ways it's very obvious. And maybe later I will consider creating another film analysis that focuses primarily on misery. But I want to look at this film from the vantage point of setback and overcoming setback. All right, like, subscribe, and visit. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more discussions. You can visit my YouTube channel for further film analysis. It's Favorites Film Analysis as the title of the channel. You can always send me an email and ask me a question, reginayfavorites@yahoo.com. My Overcoming Setback, 5 Keys for Entering and Exiting Correction book will become available around October 2021. I'm still doing some editing. The book does not focus on film analyses, but I use the content that I created for the book to support my my perceptions of setback used as a theme in select films. So when the book becomes available, I will send out a notification video, audio. Thank you very much for visiting the channel.